Hey there, welcome back to the channel. So in this video we'll be seeing the anterior triangle of the neck. So let's begin. So as we all know that there is this midline which is present anteriorly. There is a midline present anteriorly which extends from the symphysis mentæ to the suprasternal notch, and here we have the sternocleidomastoid. Therefore the anterior triangle is formed in front of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So this is our anterior triangle. There are two triangles present in the anterior region of the neck. Now here, this is our anterior midline, and this is our superior belly of omohyoid muscle. There are two bellies. The superior belly of omohyoid is in the anterior neck. This is the digastric muscle. It has two bellies as well, and this is our hyoid bone. So this is a hyoid bone, and this anterior midline extends from the symphysis mentæ. Therefore, this is the symphysis mentæ, also known as the chin. It extends from the symphysis mentæ to the suprasternal notch present on the sternum. Now posteriorly it is bounded by the anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So this is the anterior border. The apex is formed by the suprasternal notch, where anterior border of sternocleidomastoid and anterior midline meets. The base is formed by the lower border of the mandible. It is formed by the lower border of the mandible. And the roof of this anterior triangle is formed by the investing layer of deep cervical fascia. So इन्वेस्टिंग लेयर डीप सर्वाइकल फेशिया की एंटीरियर ट्रायंगल का रूफ बनाती है. इट कवर्स द एंटीरियर ट्रायंगल. Now for descriptive purposes, the anterior triangle has been subdivided by digastric muscle and the superior belly of omohyoid into the submental triangle, the digastric or the submandibular triangle, the carotid triangle, or the muscular triangle. The digastric muscle has two bellies, the posterior and the anterior belly. The posterior belly arises from the mastoid process and run towards the hyoid bone, whereas the anterior belly arises from base of the mandible near symphysis mentæ, which again runs towards the hyoid bone. Now the triangles formed are, this is the digastric or the submandibular triangle. It contains the submandibular gland. Anteriorly, it is bounded by the anterior belly of digastric, posteriorly by the posterior belly of digastric, and its base is formed by the base of the mandible, and apex is formed by the intermediate tendon of the digastric, which is attached to the hyoid bone. Then we have one submental triangle formed in between, and this is the carotid triangle, which contains the bifurcation of the common carotid artery, and this one is the muscular triangle, called so because the contents of the muscular triangles are all muscles along with the thyroid gland, bounded posteriorly by the anterior border of sternocleidomastoid and anteriorly by the anterior midline of the neck. Now let's see it visually. Let's draw. So this is our clavicle. As we all know that clavicle is divided into three parts. And this is our manubrium sterni. This is our mandible, and we have a hyoid bone here. So here this is our hyoid bone. Now here I am drawing the omohyoid muscle. So this is the inferior belly of omohyoid and this is the superior belly, originating from the superior border of the scapula and inserting in the hyoid bone. So here we have our sternocleidomastoid muscle originating from the manubrium sterni and the clavicle and inserting to the mastoid process, hence called the sternocleidomastoid. Then next we have our digastric muscle. It has two bellies. This one is the posterior and then the anterior belly. Posterior belly arises from the mastoid process and runs towards the hyoid, while the anterior belly arises from the symphysis mentæ and again runs towards the hyoid bone. Now we have here our 12th cranial nerve, which is the accessory nerve, which runs from the carotid triangle to the digastric or the submandibular triangle. Then we have the floor. The floor of the digastric muscle is formed by the hyoglossus muscle, and it is also formed by the mylohyoid muscle, which is also present in the submental triangle, and also posteriorly we have our middle constrictor muscles. Now as this digastric triangle is also known as the submandibular triangle, so obvious है कि submandibular gland भी इसमें present होगा, right? Now we have some submental lymph nodes present in the submental triangle, which drains the tip of the tongue. Now let's come on to the carotid triangle. Carotid triangle के अंदर we have the bifurcation of the common carotid artery, which leads to the internal carotid artery along with the vagus nerve and the internal jugular vein. और ये सब किसके contents हैं? Carotid sheath के. They are bounded by the carotid sheath in the carotid triangle. Now what all structures are embedded in the carotid sheath? जब हम embedded की बात कर रहे हैं यानी कि embedded होता है anteriorly. तो anteriorly to the carotid sheath we have the ansa cervicalis, और एंसा सर्वाइकैलिस सप्लाई करता है हमारी ओमोहायोइड मसल को. जैसे कि हमने पढ़ा हुआ है कि एंसा सर्वाइकैलिस हमेशा इंफ्राहायोइड मसल्स को सप्लाई कर रहा है, तो इस केस में इट इज़ सप्लाइंग द ओमोहायोइड मसल. पोस्टीरियरली इट हैज़ द सिंपैथेटिक ट्रंक विच इज़ फॉर्मिंग द स्टिलेट गैंग्लियन. तो स्टिलेट गैंग्लियन ब्लॉक इसी ट्रायंगल के अंदर होता है. Then we have some strap muscles in the muscular triangle, the sternothyroid or the sternohyoid muscles, and the thyroid gland with the parathyroid gland in our muscular triangle. So here we have the detailed compilation of the contents of the triangles of the neck, including the anterior as well as the posterior triangles. Thanks for watching. Bye.